in regards to the Liberal Party, or not even just the Liberal Party, but also I suppose the whole political class, um, is uh, is there any chance of reform, or are they doomed, for example, to go the way of the UK Conservatives and become Labour light?
Well,
So
look, I think that's where they are now.
yeah,
I mean, if you look at the Liberal Party Victoria, especially, the Liberal Party Victoria is essentially competing with Labor to see who can be more progressive. Um, when you had one member of the Liberal Party of Victoria was prepared to stand up with the Let Women Speak protest march, simply asserted the importance of preserving the rights of women. For example, to compete against women in sporting contests and to have their own sort of hygiene bathrooms, the most fundamental basic elements of civil society. John Pizzuto, the leader of the Liberal Party of Victoria, sought to expel Moira Deemer from the party for turning up to an event to defend the rights of women. And the joint is now so completely decrepit and so daftly responsive to whatever the latest woke meme is that it is indistinguishable from Labor and the Greens. Every organism, indeed, every human being, we're born, we grow, we decline, and we die. And the Liberal Party, it will go the way of all flesh, as we all will. But your question is a good one. Can it be reformed? And you look at organisations, like the Catholic Church, for example, which has gone through phases of, I would say, passionate, pure conviction and commitment to its mission in people like, Augustine, Francis of Assisi, and St. Thomas Aquinas, Sir Thomas More, and others, but then has also fallen into these phases of complete internal focus. The current leadership of the Catholic Church, I'm not even sure if the Pope believes in God. He certainly seems to believe in climate change much more than he believes in God.
I actually I excuse me. I actually call him the Marxist Pope. I think he has background in the liberation theory.
Yeah,
And yeah, when he came to power, I was never really straight away. Something bothered me about him, and we've seen how he's acted since he got in. And yeah, it's definitely not upholding the traditions of the church.
yeah. Well, Jesus said, if the salt loses its saltiness, it has no use but to be cast into the street and trampled underfoot. And Jesus is talking about this exact problem, that the salt it may retain the form, the crystalline structure, the color, even the scent, but if it no longer is salty, it has no value. And that's really where the Liberal Party is now. But it's a fair question, can it be reformed? And indeed, people who I respect were critical of me for joining the Liberal Democrats because they said you should remain and reform the Liberal Party. This is Tony Abbott's view. No matter how bad it gets, you should never leave it. And I'm sure he would take the same approach. I think he's influenced by his Roman Catholicism in that regard. I think there are moments where you can't actually collaborate with the Vichy party. You've actually got to join the resistance if you want to be part of the solution. And Look, I think there is a movement. I'm not dismissive of movements within the Liberal Party to reform the joint. I think it is possible, is the answer to your question. I have formed the view that it is possible. There is a path I can see. But you know, I've joined the Liberal Democrats. I joined as a happy foot soldier, just as a ordinary member, labourer in the vineyard, with some reluctance from me. The party has elected me its New South Wales president, so I prefer to discuss the glorious attractions of the Liberal Democrats than the defects of the Liberal Party, which is liberal in name only.